Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger ta-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for øjen, yeah, yeah. Så byder jeg stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for...
So, this has been a challenge of great proportions. Welcome to Modern Shaman, your Modern Shaman, Maria in RainbowLand, here from the harbor of Esbjerg, my hometown. I can see the ferry is sailing now. Let us check it out. This has been a journey and a challenge. This is the astrological forecast for the week of the 5th, the collective, from the week of the 12th till the 19th of 2018. And I'm right here on the harbor, which you probably already saw. I will start by making your sun sign horoscopes, each of your signs, and then I'll get back to this. I'll edit it so that it comes in at the end of the report this time. So as you're watching your sun sign horoscope end, you will see this afterwards.
Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime.
Hi there, Scorpio. Oops. This is your Modern Shaman, Maria in RainbowLand. Here from Esbjerg in Denmark. Trying to be decent. Here on my roller skates. Coming with your weekly forecast for the week of commencing at the 12th of June and going 1 week ahead. And this is an interesting week for you guys, Scorpios, because we have a new moon in your natural home of Gemini, which is the 8th house. And the 8th house is what's ruled by Scorpio, is what I meant. So this is something that comes natural for your sign, and it's about change and transformation. I would say though that for no one, change and transformation is easy. I'll show you this light while I'm talking. Because as human beings, we tend to hold on to things like they always were. We don't want things to change because we are scared of what's behind the curtain of that change. Because if we can't see what's over there on the other side yet, how can we just jump into this water? It seems a little unknown and scary. But actually, you are, Scorpios, one of the most brave signs of the zodiac. Oh no, maybe not one of the most brave, that's Aries. But you are one of the most strong signs, if not the strongest sign. So you can use your strength to know that if I tell you that life wants you to change right now, and usually when life wants that, it's a great idea if you start the change so that life does not force it upon you. And what does that mean? Well, that means that you have to look inwardly and see in which ways you need to change for you to achieve your goals. Because at the same time as we have this new moon here, we also have Venus moving into your 10th house of career, ambition, goals. And I'm sorry if the wind is going in the microphone. I can feel there's a lot of wind, so I apologize for the noise. Try to cover it like this. If you want to achieve those goals in your life, there's something you need to change, and you need to do it now, because we are in that sector where life is going to change you if you don't do it yourself. And it's always much nicer to ride the boat or steer the car or ride the horse yourself than that someone else is forcing it upon you. So it's time for some deep inner change. And at the same time, your career, as I said, is on the line because we have Venus moving into your 10th house this week. So there's something career-wise, something about your future, what you really want in this life. And when you want something, you want it, Scorpio. I know, I have Pluto on the 7th sun sign house. Exactly. So I know when I want something, I'm going for it 110. Even if it means I only have to sleep 6 hours each night and only work for 3 years, I will do it if that's what I want. And that's the power you have, Scorpio. And now is the time to remember what it is that you want and go 100% for it. And as we have Mercury moving into your 9th house, where it will expand your mind, it will encourage you to read about or investigate or expand your mind in the fields, perhaps, of where your goals are. It's time to read, it's time to travel. Travel abroad is on the list, as Mercury is in here. And later on the Sun will come here, so for the next 3 weeks, Mercury will be expanding your mind, expanding your horizons, making you travel, go to other places than where you usually hang out. And then after that, we will have the Sun also following for a month as it moves in for next week's report in the middle of next week. So there's a lot of traveling going to go on, and a lot of expansion of your mind at the same time as you need to change on a deeper level and remember what it is that you want in your life. On Friday, Mercury is going to go into opposition with Saturn, and Mercury is in your 9th house, and Saturn is in your 3rd house of communication. So there can be something where the communication is blocked, and you have to remember one thing. Whatever I say, it's not always have to be that it happens to you. It can also be something that happens to someone close to you on the news. It's just that it's somewhere having repercussions around the themes that I'm mentioning. Perhaps I'm not mentioning it exactly as, this happened, but it was not my girlfriend. It was just a girl that I liked. Or this happened, but it was not my mother, but it was this female teacher that reminded me of my mother. You know, you have to bend my words and symbolically try to figure out what it is I'm trying to say, because astrology is a language. So you have to understand that with this language we grasp a lot of different things within different fields, so you have to translate it. But as communication-wise, there can be a roadblock around Friday-ish, plus minus a bit. As Saturn moves or is in your 3rd house, but it's in opposition to Mercury. So some person, and you have an idea about how things can be if we do like this, then you have this vision, an idea about how things can be in the future, or how you want things to. But something or someone or some institution, someone at work, a friend, someone. Concerning this, someone who has a role within this career things that you are trying to expand, someone or something might feel like you might feel is blocking your idea of how things can be. You just accept it because it's Saturn. There's nothing you can do about that except from one thing, and that is to be patient and then have a belief and a faith in that it will figure itself out. Or maybe this person was right. Could also be. Then we have the opposition between Venus and Mars. Venus being in your 10th house, the career, and then Mars being over there in your 4th house, in conjunction with the south node of the moon. So this can be something from your past. I mean, someone from your family or your foundation. Again, that's having a different idea of how things should be done. That you are career-wise or future-wise, or maybe it's just a inner conflict inside of you between your home life and this that you want. But often it's between two people when it's Mars and Venus. So it can also just be some person that again you are having to find a common ground with. You're having to find a balance so that both of you agree, and you have to balance the masculine and the feminine energies. All right, yeah, and. There's this huge ferry coming now. Let's get that ferry into the picture. Whoops. As we're talking. Maybe you'll be steering one of these one day. Now it's saying something. Can you hear that? Ooh, yeah, there it is. It's coming into the harbor. Maybe it's also time for vacation for you guys, since it's the 9th house. Hope you will, because that can expand your mind and give you a new perspective on things, so that it can change. Well, this is your Martin Shaman, Maria and RainbowLand checking out for this week, and sending you all my best, my lovely Scorpios. You guys are actually kind of awesome. See ya.
Summertime, sommer, du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven.
This is the collective report. You just saw your sun sign horoscope for the week of the 12th to the 19th of June 2018. This is your Martin Shaman, Maria and RainbowLand here from the harbor of Esbjerg, my hometown. Tomorrow I'll be leaving for Tokyo, so this is my last day here. And this has been the wildest challenge. If you saw the report last week, you have seen that I mentioned that Gemini, the Sun and Mercury in Gemini was squaring Neptune. And this has been communication problems, there's been problems with the internet, problems with the car, because it's Gemini's communication and movement, anything that makes you move around like a car and stuff like that. So last week you probably had some challenges concerning these things, depending again on which sign you are, not only which sign you are, also depending on how affected you usually are by these phases of this your sun sign, because I am living life very intensively, so when things are going on in the zodiac, you always see it in my life very clearly, but for some people it's more something in the outer layers of their reality. It can be a relative, close relative, where these things that I'm talking about happens to. It doesn't have to be themselves. It can also be someone who knows someone, or even in the news. It doesn't have to affect you directly. But for someone like me, my drone smashed. And this is because Neptune is in Pisces, in this square, which is about communication. So the drone was filming me trying to communicate pictures, images, which is Pisces. And the square is troublesome. Something can crash. The car broke down. The clutch crashed, so the car couldn't drive, and I have to go to Copenhagen to fly to Tokyo tomorrow. And I had to pick up something astrology-wise at my uncle's in a place I can only go to with the car. Just to give you an example, I don't know how it affected you, but the influences of these things can have small repercussions last week, depending on how much broke and how long it will take to fix it. But it is a new week this week, and the main thing is that we have a new moon in Gemini. And this means that there's a lot of action going on to the communication, to numbers. You have to figure out new stuff, a lot of things going on. You feel like, oh, can I keep up with this? Because there's something all the time, and someone's calling, someone's writing, you are texting, you are flying, you know, and your eyes cross at the end of this, because you cannot grasp all of it. Or probably you can, because this is what Gemini can do. So there's a new moon here. I'm sorry, as you just saw in your personal sun sign, I also mentioned it. But the interesting thing that I do in the collective report, because this report is for all signs, so this is what's going on generally, collectively, that we also have to bear in mind. And generally speaking, we have to know that all summer we have some certain things that will go on and have its effects upon us. And these are the things in relationships. We've started some things that are going on between you and someone else on a deeper level, where some transformation is going on. It's about the masculine meeting the feminine. Mars is in opposition to Venus this week. And when Mars and Venus, the masculine and feminine is in opposition, it's about a balance. It's always about a balance when we talk about oppositions, if you want the pure love. So it's about finding a balance within existing relationships about you wanting to, the masculine always wants to penetrate. That's a nature, and the feminine is the receptive part of our nature. But the feminine can also be manipulative, and the masculine can just want something, and this I will force my way through it. So it's about finding a balance between these forces within you. And this is squaring to Uranus off and on all summer. So, and this period started 3 to 4 weeks ago already, and it will be going on. So you just better get used to these tendencies, because usually the Mars-Uranus square is contracts that are cancelled contracts. This can be personal between, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but we are not anymore. So this can be a relationship stopping if you don't learn to balance these things, because someone might not want to put up with this anymore, Pluto. It can also be death within, because death is also something ending. It doesn't have to be someone dying, If you see a little bit of plastic in the picture, it's because I'm trying to keep the camera free of water, because it's raining, of course, also, as the car broke down and it's raining. I don't have enough battery and no one can charge it here. This is just, for you when you see it, these are last week's problems going on for me now filming this. But Mars is also conjuncting the south node of the moon. And Mars will be meeting this point again as it goes retrograde next week. The things we're dealing with now is something we're going to deal with again over the summer several times. And the south node of the moon is about karma, past life things, things that happened to you earlier in life. Something within you that you have to learn to look upon and make peace with, and try not to react in the outside world too strongly, because you have to know that the outside world projects something going on inside of you. So try not to make others responsible for these feelings that you might have concerning this. Am I decent? And the square to Uranus is also making sudden changes that may surprise you in ways that, so you feel this in the relationship, and then you get a shock and you might react. So try to be aware of this, and instead of reacting and being, destructive, try to be creative instead. Try not to be too forceful upon others in a way where you create sorrow instead of healing. You can be the healer and help others, or you can cause them sorrow or pain because you're too harsh and come across with something that hurt others. So try to find this balance. And the other thing going on this week is also that it's the same thing, but within this aspect, we are having Venus, the relationship planet in Leo. It's squaring the Uranus aspect in not exactly, but enough, because it's squaring between the signs in Taurus. And these two planets, when you have a square like this, it's about the Feinschmeckers. I'm Danish, so I know German as well. Most of us have had it in school. And Feinschmecker, the Feinschmeckers means that these are the ones who loves good quality, likes material things, good food, good quality of the clothes. And the same with the Leo, loves to shine and the nicest things. And these are two different parts of a material, needing something that they dream of and want to manifest, but since it's a square, it's something you don't have, and you don't feel like, since you don't have this, it's not good enough yet, because you want to achieve it. But then use the Gemini new moon to think about how you can achieve it. Use the Mars over there in Aquarius to think about, to act upon, thinking about in the future, how can I find a way to get this in my life. Let's see, do we have other things? Because I don't want to make it too long this time. Of course, we still have the things going on with the personal planets. We have 2 personal planets moving signs, and that's always a great shift, because we have Mercury, the planet of communication, and how we think and reach a result in our thinking process, and what we believe, kind of like a belief system. Not as in spiritual belief, but more like how do we perceive things. It's a new moon here, in Gemini, but Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is moving into Cancer. So here it connects with the intuition and has a change there, and maybe it wants a break, it wants a vacation. There in Cancer, it wants to just relax and calm down. But there are other things in the zodiac that perhaps doesn't want to do that, but it gives you a way of perhaps internalizing your thought processes more, going deep within you and connect the heart to the mind and your own inner child. Then we have Venus also moving into, as I said before, into Leo, but it's a sign change, and these things happens over 1.5 days. So this week is a changing week, and we start with a new moon, so the energy is not at the highest. It will peak later on, but it will start increasing as we have the last week of the spring, and we also have Mars going stationary and slowing down before it moves retrograde. So there's also a feeling of stalling in certain things that you cannot push forward with. Accept that. And the Venus moving into Leo is also us wanting to enjoy life more and to enjoy romance and let out the teenager inside of us and explore life. And I think I want to end it with this, because your own sun sign report also said a lot. Thank you so much for joining me here on Maria and RainbowLand. Remember that you can subscribe to the channel, and please also remember to, this is the most important thing for me to say, that's why I say it in the end as the PS, detachment. This will be a theme this summer, Mars in Aquarius, conjuncting the South Node. You will be tested in detachment. Try to detach to wanting a special exact result or response from, especially a response from other people. If you want something so much and you try to force it through because you say to other people, this is what I want, and they don't respond the way you will, hand it over to the universe to solve your issue. If you have said something and people don't want the same as you, you have to accept it. We are not gods. Leave it up to the universe or God or love or whatever you call it. The best thing you can do to other people is accept them where they are. That's how you help them evolve. You don't help them by pushing through. Detachment, try to not attach to others. Find a balance. And remember, don't follow trends, follow your heart.
Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tra-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for øjen, yeah. Så bider jeg stille
This is a funny report, she thinks and hopes. Okay, this is an introduction. Before we take your sun sign, I have a little bit of a funny thing to do that I think is funny. You can choose whether you think it's hilarious or not. And first I want to sing, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is your truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, I'm too high, or something like that. Okay, the reason why I'm singing this song to begin with is, if you get provoked by me being the Fool card in tarot, let me see if I have it here. You know the Fool in tarot, right? This one, this guy. He's the Fool. It's number 0 in the Great Arcana. I also do tarot because I think it's funny. I am like the Fool. I've chosen to be just like Don Quixote in Spanish literature. Don Quixote de la Mancha is one of the greatest books written and one of the most famous, as famous as Shakespeare, just in Spain and the Spanish culture in general, Latin America as well. Don Quixote was the fool, the naive fool that chose to believe in the good of people and the good of things. So if you think about the law of attraction, what do you do when you do that? You create good things. When you see the good and the best in other people, in their heart, and you let out the inner child, the naive fool, that's why it's called the Fool. What happens to you is that you get a joyful life. And you can, what do you call that in English? You can give, I don't remember the word, smitte, contaminate. You contaminate others with joy and with love. And how can that be bad? So if you're one of the ones who get provoked by my style, there was some last week, I'm really open to criticism, but do it constructively. Tell me if you don't like it. Unless you don't want to, then it's fine. You can just leave, of course, and not watch it again. But if you want to criticize, try to write what, because I am so open to learning new things and also learning how this works in the program. So please comment. But if you're one of the ones that gets really provoked by my foolish nature and the childish behavior, then you have to know that perhaps you are the ones who actually have an issue with just that, and then this program is awesome for you to learn how to wash. Because we often get provoked, we always get, if we have a reaction and get provoked, we do it more or less always because it reflects something inside of us that we haven't come to terms with. So there's a purpose for me being the Fool, because I want to inspire you to find the inner fool that actually believes in the good in this world, even though you see a lot of shit on the news. I'm sorry, pardon my French, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, baby, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Na, 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 na. Okay, this week I'm gonna do yet another little thing where I take all the signs, and I will now this week show you how they react if they get a fine. And this, remember, if you get provoked, because last week people got really provoked about my sign is not like that and stuff like that, the people I knew that actually said it to me. And I'm like, no, of course you are not necessarily like that. This is an archetype of if you are extremely your sign or push or pressured, okay? So take it as it is. We start with Aries, and this week the whole situation is like this. For every sign, there's a situation where a man is walking down the street and he comes close to me, who are the representative of each sign. And of course we start with Aries and then we go on. And so I will play two people here. I will play the sign and I will play the man coming. Okay, so the situation is this. I just parked my car further down the street and a man comes and tells me the following. Well, excuse me, sir. Are you the one who has the red with your partner down the street with the heart on the back? And this is the Aries. Yes, sir. That's me. That's my car. Okay. I'm so sorry that I have to tell you this, but there's a fine in the window, front window. Plus, a lot of birds has been excremating on your car, so using your car as a toilet. What? What are you saying? I am not. No way! I will not take that fine. I cannot pay it. I will not pay that fine because I know that I parked the car at the place where I'm supposed to park the car, and I can't park the car. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. Okay, I got it out. Okay, thank you for telling me. It's not your problem. I'll go and pay. That was Aries. Taurus. So are you the one who has the red pusher partner down the street? Yes, I am. Yes, that's me. I'm sorry to tell you this, but there's a fine in the there's a ticket or a fine in the window, and a lot of birds kind of made use of your car as a toilet. What? You gotta be kidding me. Yes, there's kind of like on the window, so you better bring, you cannot see anything out of the window because they did it there, so you had better bring something to wash it with. I don't believe. But it's true, sir, I'm sorry. I hate when these things happen to me. I don't like that the government even allow these birds to go around these areas. I cannot accept this. I cannot calm down again because I'm sweating now. I'm sorry, sir. It's not your fault, I know, but I am just so pissed off right now. I cannot calm down. I better find this parking lot man and tell him some things, because I know that I actually parked this car within a zone where it's legal to do so I cannot park this car anywhere else. Scorpio, I'm not paying a single dime. Give me the name of that man. How did he look? When I get a hold of that man, he better be happy that I did not bring my 9mm, because then I would have practiced and used him as a target, or him or the birds for that matter. They have to be happy that I was not there, because then I would have just said, and gone they would have been. Don't shit on my parade. Sagittarius. What? You're telling me I'm getting a fine? You know what? I'm not gonna let that ruin my mood. I am in such a great mood that I will actually ask you to join me, because we're going to a party over here, and I think that you should come and join us, you know? Let's go. And then, oh, I think I see the parking lot guy over there. Hey, sir. No, come over here, I'm friendly. Yeah, what do you think about us going to this party that I'm going? And maybe we could talk about me getting a discount on the fine over there, you know? Capricorn. Oh, so I got this fine? Well, it's my duty and full responsibility to take responsibility for my actions. And I did wrong to society, and it's very important that when we do so, we do what is expected of us, and that is, of course, to pay our fine, to keep the justice flowing in the society, because if we don't have justice, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, we will destroy the structure, and we all need to pay our dues and undo our wrongdoings and make them right again. I'm gonna go straight over there to go and pay my fine. And furthermore, I will go and fix and make these kind of scary things for the car that can scare away the animals, the birds, for next time, so that they can learn that there are certain rules here in society that we just don't overstep. Thank you very much, sir, for telling me. And have a good day. Sorry, Capricorn, I love you guys. Last week I was also rough on you. My best friends are Capricorn, so some of them. So don't worry. Have a lot in 10th house. I even have Saturn there, so I'm also have this side. So don't take it personal. Aquarius. Really? So I got a fine for that? Oh, it's so typical, because society, they haven't yet figured out a way, and I don't believe this, that they did not figure out a way to have an automated system, instead of having people running around, but having a system that would tell you, now you're within, now you're without the line, a robot or something like that, making sure also to send out a signal to the birds. You can make these kind of special wavelengths that you send through the air, so the birds will hear it as a sound, as some of the overtones we don't hear as human beings, and they will be aware of that this zone you're not supposed to leap in, and they will just fly another way. I read this somewhere, and also I thought that this from another article that I wrote, that I read, that it would be possible to do the same thing with birds as they do with the zebras in the African jungle. And by the way, I have some friends actually that think that if I go and see them, we will be able to figure out a way to get this installed right away, and this will create a better society for us in the future, so people like me don't get a fine that is so unnecessary as now. Thank you for telling me, sir. Have a good day. Pisces. What? What? You telling me I'm getting a fine? No way! For what? For parking my car? My car? Do I have a car? Oh yeah, I parked my car there 3 days ago. I totally forgot. I was just hanging out with these friends. Oh shit, this sucks, man. Shit. We're just hanging out, and getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And now I'm like getting a fine. I'm just like, oh shit, but I'll find a way to pay it, I'll find a way to pay it. We'll find a way to pay. By the way, did you hear that song? This from the Vietnam War. What was it? How is it going? Let me see. Where have all the flowers gone? A long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Hopefully we will learn. Let's go on with it. Thanks for watching this, and remember to write in the comment section. The comment section. If there's any questions or any criticism of this is not typical for my sign, or you could do that better. Give it more gas on the because my sign would actually say this or do that. Or if you have an idea of some situation where I can act out the sign. Thank you for watching this. So that was it with the sun sign, the collective, and the sketch part. And again, remember to comment and in the comment section if you have a comment about it. And I put it at the end this time, so if it's not for you to watch, then you just skip it. I don't know if you saw it in an earlier report, but I'm trying to prepare a series of programs or a way to make these programs as a pilot for NHK. So that's why I'm testing how it works in reality. That will of course be edited and cut in a more professional way, since I don't have that much time to do it, as I have a full-time job as a designer in my own company. I'm making walking art designs, but this is at the same time as I have been a TV host in Denmark. But now I live in Tokyo, where I have my walking art design and I do my music, and also this. So this is from where it began this week, and where the drone crashed, and how I came to the location where all the sun signs are shot. And in some of the reports, I even saw seals. That's in the Aquarius, or one seal that came. So a lot of things happened, different things for each sign. So not a lot, but the ships came in and out, and I love to make it adventurous and at a new location every week. But again, thanks a lot for watching. If you watched it all the way till here, I'm impressed, because they say that typical YouTube viewers only watch like 15 minutes. So don't follow trends, follow your heart. See ya. And the rest of this, you see that I'm filming here, is just the journey on the roller skates through good weather, through horrible weather, change between rain and sun, and the drone crashes at the end as the grand big hallelujah. So I'm not expecting you to watch it all the way, but if you do, it's just to experience. Perhaps you like the sea, the ocean side. It's from my hometown. I'm back in Tokyo as I'm editing this, because this was from my last day in Denmark. So it's also a goodbye for now to a really, really, really beautiful natural resort that we have on the west coast of Denmark. If you ever get a chance to go, write me and I will tell you which beautiful places to visit. Hugs, your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. And finally again here, our song, Summertime. Song that me and Mikun Bragdahun wrote and produced and sang and did everything more or less together. I'm primarily on the songwriting and the melody of the song, and he is primarily on the whole production and composing of the different instruments, but overlapping. Bye. Remember, you can get this on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere else. Summertime Måneskin version by Maria in RainbowLand. Oh no, Maria, it was just the name at the time. Maria is 2 years old. Bye.
Sommer, du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger om det regner og sner, eller der sol for øjen. Yeah. Så bider jeg en stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin. Har solen skinner på din mand. Put den ind. Sommer, du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe, der bæller te og kobler hjernen fra til sød musik, der siger da. Om tiden er 3, eller jeg er på farten. Oh yeah. Så sender jeg dig tusindvis af kram og tænker på alle de gange vi var på trangen. Vi to fik det væk til en sang. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin. Har solen skinner på din mand. Luk den ind. Sommer, du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Sagde jeg til livet, gav slip på tanken, tog ej for givet. Fik det vi troede på, nu er det kommet. Vi skulle samme vej, og jeg kan slet ikke forstå, at du er her hos mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin. Har solen skinner på din mand. Luk den ind. Summertime. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger ta-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for oven, yeah, yeah, så bider jeg en stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe, der bæller te og kobler hjernen fra til sød musik, der siger da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Om tiden er 3, eller jeg er på farten, oh yeah, så sender jeg dig tusindvis af kram og tænker på alle de gange vi var trange, vi to fik det væk til en sang. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Sagde jeg til livet, gav slip på tanken, tog ej for givet. Fik det vi troede på, nu er det kommet. Vi skulle samme vej, og jeg kan slet ikke forstå, at du er her hos mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger ta-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for oven, yeah, yeah, så bider jeg en stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste